Let's go, girls. Welcome to Talk Wealthy to Me. I'm Michelle Taylor, founder of Women in Wealth. From breaking money myths to building wealth and achieving financial freedom, we're here to empower you to create your own path. Talk Wealthy. Now, join the conversation and let's change the way women think and feel about money. Okay, ready? Hey friends, welcome back to Talk Wealthy to Me, where we talk about money in a way that feels grounded, empowering, and just a little bit glamorous. Today's conversation is one I've been so excited to have because we're seeing a massive shift happening in how women define success and wealth everywhere. We're talking about quiet luxury, sometimes called stealth wealth, but overall, it's the art of building wealth that doesn't need to announce itself. You've seen it trending everywhere. Sophia Richie's wedding, Gwyneth Paltrow's wardrobe, or the old money aesthetic on TikTok. But here's what's interesting. It's not just about neutral tones or understated handbags. Quiet luxury is about a mindset shift. It's the move from flashy consumption to intentional ownership. A recent analysis showed that the global quiet luxury market was worth nearly $137 billion in 2024. And that's projected to grow to $278 billion by 2034. That's almost double. And it tells you that something really big is happening that we need to pay attention to. People, especially women, are realizing that the real flex isn't loud wealth. It's lasting wealth. And that's what we're diving into today. Why women are leading this quiet wealth movement, the principles that define quiet luxury, how it builds real power behind the scenes, and practical ways that you can embody this philosophy today. And finally, how I've personally shifted toward quiet wealth in my own life, or I'm at least trying to. So, why are women leading the quiet wealth movement? This is a great place for us to start. We are leading the movement for a reason. For decades, we've been told that wealth equals visibility, fancy cars, big houses, Instagram-worthy vacations. But in reality, women are rewriting that narrative. A Fidelity report found that 71% of women now own investments in the stock market, and that's up from just 53% a few years ago. That's an 18% jump, you guys. And it's not just about investing for return. It's about investing for independence. And as proud as I am for all of that growth, we still have a ways to go. McKinsey projects that by 2030, women in the US and Europe will control more than 20 trillion in assets, trillion with a T. In the US alone, women are expected to own 30 trillion, 2/3 of all the personal wealth. So yes, we're building wealth, but we're also doing it a bit differently. Quiet wealth resonates with women for three major reasons. One, safety and privacy. Let's be real. Wealth can attract unwanted attention. Online, in relationships, even in family dynamics. Quiet wealth is all about protection. It's peace. It's the freedom to enjoy abundance without having to explain yourself. Number two, freedom over approval. A woman with quiet wealth doesn't need and isn't looking for validation. Her money is working for her, not the other way around. She knows that true financial freedom isn't having to prove that she's rich. It's having the option to live on her own terms. Number three, stability over show. Ladies, the flash fades. The foundation, that lasts. And women are focusing on long-term assets such as real estate, stocks, businesses, instead of things that depreciate. Here's something super powerful. Globally, men still own $105 trillion more of wealth than women. Let that sink in for a second. But that gap is shrinking, and that's great news because women are quietly, intentionally building legacies that last, not just lifestyles set to impress. Okay, I'm sure you're thinking, what does quiet luxury look like in practice? Let's talk about the mindset behind it and how it shows up in your daily choices. Principle number one, invest in quality, not quantity. Whether it's a cashmere sweater, a handbag, or an ETF, the principle is the same. You're choosing durability over novelty. I'd rather have one amazing something than a bunch of lackluster nothings. A 2024 Radial survey showed that 78% of quiet luxury consumers prioritize high-quality materials over logos, and 56% value timeless design. They're not buying 5 trendy jackets, they're buying one great one that lasts. Wealthy women apply that same logic to money. They focus on long-term value, not short-term dopamine hits. Principle 2, choose experiences over things. Research shows experiences create longer-lasting happiness than material goods, not to mention core memories. So instead of the constant chase for the next designer drop, quiet luxury women invest in moments, family trips, retreats, solo time, mentorships, and memories. And all of those things can build emotional wealth. Principle number 3, give strategically and quietly. Some of the most powerful women in the world give anonymously. They fund scholarships, women's shelters, and community programs without needing their name on a building. And that's not to say that if you want your name on a building, that it's a bad thing. But I want you to think about ways that you can do it in a way that feels good and authentic to you. That's truly what strategic philanthropy is all about. It's making an impact without seeking attention. It's giving for transformation, not just credit. Ladies, quiet wealth isn't passive. It's strategic and it's powerful. And here's how. You avoid unnecessary debt. Loud wealth says, I need to look successful. Quiet wealth says, I need to stay solvent. The average credit card APR in 2025 is around 20.7%, which is super upsetting to me, and I'm sure that you would say the same. Nearly half of Americans are carrying credit card debt monthly, so that means that their money is compounding against them and not for them. Quiet wealth women don't fall into that trap. They buy when they can afford, not when they just want to impress somebody. You let your investments compound quietly. Lifestyle creep is the silent killer of wealth. And trust me, you always need to be on top of that because it's the easiest trap to fall into. Even among high earners, 60% are living paycheck to paycheck, often because their expenses inflate with every raise. Quiet wealth women resist that pressure. They let time and compound growth do the heavy lifting, investing steadily, letting their dividends reinvest, and focusing on their net worth, not the Instagram worth. You also build influence through relationships and not just recognition. The most powerful women that I know aren't broadcasting their net worth. They're not posting the flashy pictures just to get a like or a heart. They're building their networks, which are far more valuable. Quiet wealth, they create rooms for strategic partnerships, advisors, mentors, business collaborators, people who are elevating you and encouraging you to do better and step up your game. It's about building power quietly through aligned relationships and not just looking for an applause. Okay. So how do we actually live this? Let's talk about everyday quiet wealth practices that you can start today, right now. Number 1, start with your environment. Declutter, simplify, quality over chaos, a capsule wardrobe, a calm workspace, clean financial systems. That all is going to result in mental clarity. Adopt financial minimalism. Research shows the average American has 5 or more bank accounts and credit cards, creating stress and deorganization. And ladies, we are the worst at this. I have so many clients that lovingly refer to themselves now as squirrels. They are bouncing from one account to the other because it makes them feel good. But in the reality of the grand scheme of their situation, it's just creating stress and a feeling of not being organized. Quiet wealth is about clarity, fewer accounts, a simpler system, and of course, automation that is running your financial life efficiently so that you aren't having to do it consciously every single turn. Create invisible wealth. And what this basically means is not that it doesn't exist, but that it's protected. That can mean owning assets under an LLC for privacy, setting up a trust for your heirs, or maxing out a Roth IRA quietly every single year. And let's not forget generational wealth. Only 12% of women currently have estate plans in place, even though they're on track to control most of U.S. wealth by 2030. And that's where you can make your mark, by planning, protecting, and passing it forward. Okay, so this brings us to my personal perspective on this. And for anybody listening, you know I have not always been the best at quiet luxury. When I first started out in this world, I thought success had to look successful. So the cars, the bags, the nice watches, even the nice pens, believe it or not, that was a piece of advice I was given when I started. And I drank the Kool-Aid. I thought that credibility was tied to image. And over the last decade, I've realized that people who truly have wealth, the ones with seven-figure portfolios, debt-free homes, and financial peace, don't always look wealthy. They moved quietly, they invested quietly, and they gave quietly. It's taught me that wealth feels best when it gives you peace and certainly not pressure. Today, my version of quiet wealth looks a lot like that. Investments that are paying me even while I'm sleeping, savings that can cover 6 months of freedom if I really needed it, real estate that appreciates while I'm on vacation, a trust structure that protects my assets and ensures that my children inherit safely. And you know what? That's my definition of luxury: freedom and flexibility. It doesn't mean that there aren't the fun little flexes when you love something that feels a little bit more flashy, but it means not prioritizing those things over your freedom. When I'm talking to women who are thriving financially, they all say the same thing. They're not chasing status anymore or trying to keep up with the Joneses, because we all know that what we see is just that person's highlight reel. They're more interested in chasing peace and wellness and a life that allows them to dictate what it looks like based on what they're feeling and not what their bank account is going to allow. As we wrap this up, remember this: your wealth does not have to scream to make an impact. Quiet luxury is about financial confidence, the kind that doesn't need validation from others and oftentimes people that don't know you and you'll never meet. It's knowing that you're building something real, sustainable, and powerful. By 2030, women will control nearly $30 trillion in U.S. wealth. And that is not just a statistic. Really, it's a call to action, a reminder to all of us that this is our moment to build legacies that last generations. The time is now. It has never been as good for us as it is today. So this week, I want you to journal on this question. What does wealth feel like to me? Not what it looks like to others or what you think it's supposed to look like, but truly what it looks like and feels like just to you. If you want to share your reflections, tag me at Women in Wealth on Instagram. I'd love to hear what quiet luxury really means to you, because true wealth doesn't need to make noise. It just needs to make an impact. And whether that impact is for you, your family, or for the greater good, at the end of the day, chasing impact is truly what matters. So, as always, thanks for tuning in to Talk Wealthy to Me. Remember, your wealth can whisper and still change the world. So, let's continue to change the women think and feel about money together.